So here David is out in an isolated place. In a wilderness place. There's no friend. No wife. No mom, no dad. And he's running in fear of his life. And in this dark time, in this turbulent time, David says something that many of us have said before when things got really rough. And it's simply the words, "Oh God." David says, my son's trying to kill me. I don't have friends. I don't have an army. I'll get by myself. He probably was hungry. You can imagine, even thirsty. And David is in this time, and there is no job and family services. There is no government resources. And in the midst of this turbulence, David saying what many of us have said before, the words, "Oh God." He just cries out to God. In the midst of the turbulence, David knew that even if I didn't have help from people, even though Absalom is trying to kill me, he reminded himself that there still was a God that he could call on. Yes, God. I want to stress to us that as we leave 2025 and go into 2026, I'm not the bearer of bad news. I'm not a pessimist, but the reality is that you rarely go through a year without some turbulence. Amen. Can I just be honest? 2025 has some turbulence. 2024 has some turbulence. And 2026 will have some turbulence. The question is, will you call on God while you go through the turbulence? Will you acknowledge that there's a God that's with you in the midst of the turbulence? Will you acknowledge that there is a personal God? He said, "My God." Will you remember that you have the personal relationship with God when the waves of life start to rock you and make things unsteady and try to get you off track? David remembered in the midst of one of his darkest hours that there was a God, and not just a God that existed, but a God that was his. He says, "Oh God." He says, "You are my God." We need to say that often in 26. You are my God. When the bill comes, you listen, and the devil starts to whisper, talk to God and say, "Oh God, you're my God." When you don't know what to do, but you have to do something, remind yourself, "Oh God, you are my God." When your feelings get hurt and when you feel discouraged and worry tries to come into your spirit, remind yourself, "Oh God, you're my God. You're personal to me. You're not this distant God that I can't talk to, that I can't connect to. You're not a deadbeat father, but you're my God, and you walk with me and you talk with me. You're with me right here in the midst of it." David realized right in the middle of the darkest time that his personal God was with him. In 2026, you're going to have to remind yourself that the personal God is your God and that he is with you, that he's with you.